Hey YouTube, welcome back to the channel. Thanks for clicking on the video. Chuggy's here in the kitchen, and tonight I thought I would show you my recipe for fried chicken. But before we get into that, as always, please like, share, and subscribe. We got more bowling videos coming for you soon-ish. You know, it's not all about bowling. Read the description. But anyway, I thought tonight I would show you my recipe for fried chicken, at least the the breading process, and we're going to fry it in a good old-fashioned black cast iron. I got an air fryer, but for this particular recipe we're going to use cast iron and oil. You want to get your cast iron about halfway full, a little less than halfway, and then when you see the oil start to ripple, then you're good to throw your chicken in. I got it on about a medium heat. So first thing we're going to do is going to make the breading, and for my breading I like to use a 1-to-1 ratio. We're going to use 1 cup of flour and 1 cup of cornmeal. Okay, 1 cup of flour, and 1 cup of cornmeal. I've found personally that the 1-to-1 ratio of the cornmeal and flour just kind of makes it a little easier, and it gets it a nice crispiness on the chicken, which is what you want when you have fried chicken. You want crispy and tender and moist, all these things together. So we're just going to mix that together a little bit. Sometimes I like to use a spoon with holes in it because I don't have a sifter, so got to make do with what you have. And we just kind of get that mixed in together. And like I said, it's a 1-to-1 ratio, so it's going to vary depending on how much chicken you're cooking. It looks like I'm going to need a little bit more because I'm cooking about an 8-pack, I think. I don't know. So we're going to go 1 more cup of flour and 1 more cup of cornmeal. Okay. Stir that in together. And there we go. You want to make sure you have enough that you can get the chicken coated when you put it in the breading. Okay, that's good. There you go. See? All right. Next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to add a little bit of breadcrumbs. Okay, see? There we go. Get those mixed in and stirred in there. Especially when I'm mixing the dry ingredients, I prefer to stir them as opposed to shake them up. We are going to shake this up later, but as we're just kind of introducing the ingredients and getting the breading mixture created, I like to stir things in. Gets it in mixed more evenly, I think. Okay, a few more breadcrumbs. All right, breadcrumbs are in. Next thing we're going to do is it's going to need some flavors. So I've got soul seasoning. That's my secret ingredient. Not really, but put a little bit of that in there. And then some lemon pepper. Now, lemon pepper is pretty strong, so you want to use this sparingly. A couple of shakes ought to do it. Next, we have some crushed oregano. I'm actually all out of oregano, but that should be enough. And some garlic powder. Garlic powder, not garlic salt. Make sure you use garlic powder. and some poultry seasoning. And poultry seasoning is one of those that's kind of strong too. You don't need a lot of it. And then lastly, a little bit of table salt. Not a lot, just a couple of shakes. Stir that in, get it mixed together. Now, I did say that we were going to shake it up here once we have all the ingredients in. All right. These are so cool. These are like the little Ziploc Tupperwares. I know that's two opposing brands, but whatever. These are the ones that have the little air hole. Here, check this out. Yeah, isn't that cool? It's supposed to suck out all the air. All right. That should be good. Okay, that looks good. I always like to taste, make sure it tastes good. Perfect. All right. Now, here comes the controversial part. I am not going to do an egg wash. Some people do an egg wash, some people don't. I do sometimes, but lately I haven't been. It's kind of a mess, and I'm all about easy cleanup. So I'm not doing an egg wash with this. You can, you don't have to, but I'm not. So don't email me like, hey, you didn't use an egg wash. You can if you want to. An egg wash kind of adds to the fluffiness and crispiness of it, and it helps the excuse me, and it helps the breading stick to the chicken. It has its uses, but we're not going to do that today. All right, get on our trusty rubber gloves because, you know, I don't want to have to handle raw meat. Not directly, anyway. It's all about sanitation, don't you know? All right. What you're going to do is you're going to take your first piece of chicken. I'm doing drumsticks, by the way. And you're just going to put it in there, you know, get it covered, nice and coated. And because we're not doing an egg wash, there's not going to be thick clumps on it, but you want to have just a really nice, even coat. And see, you want something that looks about like that. You can probably see a little bit falling off. But you want to have a nice, even coat on the chicken. And once you have your even coat, you're just going to drop it into the skillet. Hopefully you can see that. There we go. Just drop it in. And we're going to turn that heat up to a little bit past medium high now. As the skillet wasn't quite hot, but it'll get there. So in the meantime, we'll go ahead and we'll start getting more chicken bread. One reason why I don't use an egg wash all the time has been my experience, at least. When I use it, it tends to clump up the breading, and I don't like clumpy breading. And I don't get as even of a coat of the breading with an egg wash as I do normally. And like I said, what you're looking for when you coat your drumstick is you just want nice, even coating all around. There you go. I don't know if you can hear that, but the cast iron is starting to heat up. And do another piece of chicken. And I think we'll go ahead. We'll keep we'll put a description, or we'll put the ingredients list in the description for the fried chicken. So if you want to do this at home, you can. Okay. Nice, evenly breaded drumsticks. All right. Go ahead and get these in the skillet. All right, and you'll notice too, I have a skillet cover, a grease splatter guard. Those are amazing, especially when you're frying chicken. Grease will get everywhere. So we're gonna keep those in there. We're gonna check them here after about 15, 20 minutes, and we'll give them a turn. And we're probably gonna turn them about at least a couple times. Want to make sure that the chicken gets cooked thoroughly throughout, because it's not completely submerged in the oil, so you got to turn it to make sure that it gets cooked evenly. So we will check back with the chicken here in just a minute to turn it. All right, you can really hear it cooking now. Let's go ahead and take a look at that. Yeah, that looks pretty good. Get a shot into that, the chicken there. So it's been about 15, 20 minutes. I'm gonna go ahead and turn it. Now, a quick safety tip when you go to turn your chicken so you don't get splattered, use your splatter guard and cover it. Yeah, just like that. All right. It's cheering. You can see, take a look at that. Look how yummy that looks. Absolutely. All right, so we're gonna let it cook for about another 15, 20 minutes, and we're gonna turn it again. And it should be really good. Yummy. All right, it's been another 15 minutes. We're gonna check the chicken again. We're gonna rotate it again this time. One way you can tell too when your chicken is getting close to being done on one side or the other is the oil will get quieter. So I'm gonna let that go for about another 5 minutes, and then we'll take it out and we'll let it rest for a bit, and then we'll cut into it. And we're gonna temp it. You always want to make sure your chicken is to temp, because you don't want to serve people undercooked chicken. That'd be bad. All right, we have been at about 5 minutes. It's time to take it out and put it in the basket. We got the basket lined with paper towel, and we're gonna cover it with foil to let it rest. Now we do want to temp the chicken. Make sure it's at 165. We got our thermometer. Here we go. Excellent. At about 170. Perfect. So we're gonna let that rest for about, you guessed it, 5-10 minutes. And we're gonna come back and take a bite, and it's gonna be oh so delicious. All right, here is the finished product. Yeah, not too bad, huh? Let's give it a taste. Oh, yeah. Nice and cooked on the inside and tender. That's great. So, I will post the recipe in the description. Please like, subscribe, and share, and hope you enjoy the recipe and keep on chugging.